I just got a few more questions, and I wasn't sure, like, because you don't talk about this. I know you're not like driven by finances and things like that. I know that it always helps life go a little bit easier. What are your thoughts on? Because I'm pretty sure you're not like a fan of the Federal Reserve and our debt-based monetary system, are you?
No.
Okay, I
Did
just
you
want to make
notice?
sure before I was proceeding. I didn't want to think out of context here. I didn't think you was a pro Fed guy, but I just wanted to
There's a
make sure.
reference to them in the Jones Plantation, to the Fed. Do you
In the book
remember?
or the movie?
I've made these Jones Plantation credits in
Oh, the
both.
credits. Okay, I didn't realize that was. I just figured it was a jab to the whole system as it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That reminds me. Well, see, there was like I live in North Carolina, and there was like mill towns where a company would own the property, the basically the whole town, and they
Yeah.
would pay people in like basically like a military script, but not a military script, monopoly money that was only good there.
Yeah.
And you could buy things from the mill and the shops and all that, but it was you were being paid fake money by your employer,
Yep.
which is really what's technically happening today with U.S. dollars. So I'm assuming you're pro gold and silver, as a lot of Philadelphians are. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency?
I actually I'm old fashioned. Um I like the gold and the silver for the fact that they're just stuff. You don't need an outlet, you don't need an internet connection. It's just stuff and it'll be recognized kind of forever. Um but I'm not at all against the cryptos. I think a lot of people don't really understand what they are because it's a weird concept if you're not used to thinking in those terms. I think on a day-to-day practical basis, it's a really like it's a useful way to be able to trade without there being any central control. So of course the feds came along and wanted to do one that they would centrally control. And everybody was like, no, that's the whole purpose of having cryptos is so it isn't that. Um, at the same time, I think a lot of people then sort of played it like the stock market and they're just like doing it as an investment and they're just guessing what the value is going to be. To me, that's sort of doomed to be a short-term game that it's going to level out. But I think the idea of using that as a currency is perfectly valid. I do think there are the technological drawbacks of like a piece of silver will always be a piece of silver, and it doesn't matter where you are. In most of society, like crypto works, and it works as a there are even like ATM machines and stuff that do Bitcoin now. So I'm not at all against it. I do think people have to sort of get used to it and get a grip on what it is and what it isn't, and it'll probably wildly fluctuate for years to come. And there'll be new ones coming up that do things better and like anonymity and stuff. And I'm by no means an expert on any crypto, um, but I think whenever people are finding ways to go around the parasite class, when it comes to trading and stuff like that, it's a good sign because again, to me, the mentality is the thing that matters to me. And once again, I have to bring up a little known story. I mean, this probably circulated enough that some of your viewers probably know it. Um, but the fact that the IRS was all upset because like we told you that you have to report crypto and some puny little percentage because you can see the Bitcoin exchanges on the you can just look at them. They're all
Right. Yeah.
because
It's
it's
pseudo
on a
anonymous.
big public ledger. And the IRS was like, hardly anybody's reporting it. It's like, good, because they don't feel obliged to, and they realize hardly anybody else is doing it either. And, at some point, I fully expect government to go, it's going to be illegal to do crypto because they'll get too desperate. And then you'll see how many people that'll actually make the value go way up and see how many people just go, screw you, and whether there's a challenge and stuff. But to me, I'm always looking at the mentality, and crypto to me is a symptom of a very good step forward in mentality, which is if we can trade without these bastards getting a cut, let's do that. And people will find a way to do that one way or another. And you can outlaw crypto or you can do whatever you want, but they're going to find a way. And to me, that's the ingenuity of lots of people who believe in freedom is always going to outpace the parasites and we'll find ways around it. And so, crypto currently is a handy way around around a bunch of that. But the mentality behind it, that like, we're trying to get out of you bastards knowing everything and stealing everything, like, that's going to win out no matter what happens technologically on any given day or week or year.